Hi everybody, Kelly here. So this week I've put my quilting plans on hold and thought I would come to you with some progress on some of my cross stitching. So I don't have a lot. I was going to show you a WIP Parade, but I don't actually have a lot in progress. So I have a few finishes, a few in progress, and some plans. So to that end, let's get started with my finishes. So the finishes actually do kind of go along with a couple of quilts that I've been making this year. So most of you that follow me probably know Fat Quarter Shop, and that they do a quilt along each year to raise funds for Make-A-Wish. And so I've been doing that again this year for the Moonbeams quilt along this year. And they also do a stitch along with that. So I've been doing the cross stitches as well. So this year, while I've been doing the Moonbeams quilt along, I've actually also been working on the Heartfelt quilt along from 2022, because I had bought the kit and I just never, I don't know what happened. Life probably happened and I just never got it started even. So I do have one of their other kits for the Make-A-Wish donation drive that I actually plan on doing next year with next year's quilt. So anyhow, to that end, I've also been doing the cross stitches. So hopefully I'll have more on the quilts in the next couple of weeks, because Kimberly, she should have finished it on her channel yesterday, but I haven't had a chance to watch that. So I'm hopefully going to be working on it this weekend. Anyhow, so some of you have probably already done it, but I'm still in progress on that. So let me go ahead and show you the cross stitches that I've got complete. So the first one I've got here is actually for the Heartfelt quilt. It was kind of sitting in front, so I'll pick it up first. So this was my finish for the Heartfelt stitch along, and I actually was going to put this on another frame, but I just thought, you know what, I kind of sized the board just a little bit bigger than I probably should have, and so I thought, I feel like it's going to be just fine. I'm going to put it up on the wall just like this, and it'll be a cutesy little stitch to remind me of that quilt. So, and I just did the little bow up here out of some scraps from the salvage edges, and mostly I did it because it's hiding how bad I did the corner up there, but I just thought it added a cute little touch. So but I've got that finished. Now my colors were not exactly what they called for. I used mostly the called for DMCs to start out with, but I had maybe thrown in, I forget which ones, but I had thrown in something that was a little bit different, and I can't even remember which one that one was, and most of the others were not really, I don't know, they were kind of bland to me. So I actually got to a point where I had some other threads that I didn't have very much of and didn't remember what number they were and that sort of thing. So I just kind of started stitching with some of them. So like the hot pink here was not necessarily the color that was supposed to be in the original stitch, but I liked it. It gave a little bit more pop to some of the hearts, and so that's what I went with. And like the kind of gray blue color here, that was not really a called for one, but I was not liking seeing so much taupe throughout. So anyhow, I just thought I'd give it just a little bit more pop of color, and I think it turned out okay. So it's probably not my favorite cross stitch in the world. Well, it's definitely not my favorite cross stitch, but I think it turned out okay, and it'll be a nice little memory for me that I can put up on my wall. So I like that one. So I'm going to set that off to the side here. You'll have to forgive me for a minute while I try to stay organized while I do this. Alright, so the other finish that I have is for the Moonbeams quilt, or stitch along, representing the Moonbeams quilt as well. So this actually, I believe, is on 14 count Ada. It was the fabric that was recommended for the stitch, and so I went ahead and used that. And I have some flaws in here, and because I have some flaws in here, I kind of put the year in there. I accidentally was maybe like one line off on a couple of things, and honestly I just fudged them. You know, I'm not going to point some of them out. Some of them are kind of obvious, but if you can't see it, you can't see it, and I don't need to point it out, right? And it wasn't really bad. Oh, I got a little piece of thread or yarn on there. Wasn't bad enough for me to feel like I needed to go back and frog it and fix it. I just kind of fudged it. So, and then you can see my finishing is not super fantastic. It did seem a little bit better until I put it on the board, and once I hot glued it, then like this side is coming up just a little bit too much, that sort of thing. But I think it's fine for I'm just going to put it on the wall, and I'm going to hang it up high enough that probably nobody will really notice, and so no big deal. And then the board is actually just a piece of hobby board that I bought on clearance at the store, like super clearance. And so Dad just cut it into 3 pieces for me, and then he put the little strips on to secure the 3 pieces together, and then I just put the wire on, and that's how I'll hang it. So altogether, I think this board probably, it was like almost less than $1 by the time the clearance thing, and I think there's still a piece left about this size. So not bad for, you know, $1. All right, so that's gonna be kind of cute on my wall there. Let me set that to the side. Sorry, I'm talking as I turn to the side, and I shouldn't do that. All right, so one of my other finishes, it actually has gotten a little wrinkled, and it wasn't that way when I first got it finished, so I'm kind of curious about that. But I might be able to put some steam to it and get it out. I'm not sure. Anyhow, it was, this was a, I don't have the details. Oh no. This is one of the stitches in the Nashville cookbook, Nashville Needleworks cookbook. And all of a sudden I can't remember who did it. Was this, I want to say Hands On Design, but I hate to say wrong, and I've already said it, so I guess I'll be wrong if I'm wrong. But anyhow, this was one of the ones in that book, and I just thought it was really cute. It was something that I started on the 4th of July, or around the 4th of July. I started it as a patriotic, but when I got finished with it, I didn't feel like finishing it as a patriotic. I thought of it as a patriotic because of the couple of flag motifs in there, or the actual flags, sorry. But when I got it finished, it just seemed so much like the green and the bird and the vines. And I know it does say sea to sea, like it's supposed to be from sea to shining sea. And so, you know, God bless the USA sort of thing. But I actually focused more on the bird and the vines when I got it finished, and that's more what I kind of see that more. And then the patriotic, just, you know, it's like normal everyday have your flag, etc. And not over the top patriotic like Uncle Sam and flags all over the place and etc. So I just thought of it more in terms of the bird, and so the colors in this just made me think about some scraps that I had that I thought would be kind of cute with it. So that's what I went with. And so I just took some of the salvage pieces from some of those scraps that I had and sewed the back together. And I actually haven't quite finished. I called this a fully finished, but it's not really, because I'm gonna take I have a little felt piece that I cut a little bird out of, and then I'm going to stitch that on the back here to cover the opening where I put the sawdust in. And so, and I did actually I filled this with sawdust. My dad's a carpenter, so there's sawdust all the time. So that makes it really easy. And it's a nice little filling. Like I said, I don't know why it's not doing real great right now, but it usually will be really cute. So I don't know, I may have to think of something there if I can't get it. Like I don't really want to do steam now because it's got sawdust in it. But if I can figure out some way to get those couple of little wrinkles out of there, maybe if I just keep kind of, I don't know, a lot of times with the sawdust you can kind of keep kneading it a little bit and it'll pack in a little different. And then anyhow, so that's the finish on that. I may put a bow there or a couple buttons. I think a couple buttons would be good. Maybe like a little bird or a little flag button. That would work. So not quite fully finished, but pretty good. So one of my other finishes, not a fully finished, but finished, was from Amity of the Hathaway Stitches, or Hathaway Stitchers, Boomerang Stitches. This is her chart for Bird Nerd. This was one of her first charts that she released, and I just thought it was really cute. And she did it both as Bird Nerd or Bird Herd, because one of the first videos that they put out, they were talking about people that love to stitch birds and that they're, you know, bird nerds, or that they ought to form a group and be the bird herd. And in my family, we're definitely like to watch the birds, like to feed the birds. So I don't know all my species very well, but I do like to feed the birds. So anyhow, I finished this, and I did it on a 32 count that I dyed myself, and I think it's just a 32 count Zweigart that I dyed myself. So I have a whole bunch of excess off to the side here, but I haven't cut it yet, just because I don't like to cut it until I actually go to frame, just because I'm never 100% sure how much I need, and I definitely don't want to cut off more than I'll need for the frame. And I also don't like to cut too little and then I end up having to trim it more. And I could have had, a good size piece, or maybe I just need to do a small strip off of it. So I've got that finished. And then today I happened to be at the thrift store, and forgive me because it's dirty and I haven't wiped it off yet, but I got this frame, picked up this frame for $1, and I thought, so it's got the glass in it, and I think it's all a solid piece. I haven't opened it up to find out for sure. If it's not, I don't necessarily care, but I think it's all a solid piece, and I believe that I could probably just snap these pieces out. The only problem is when I got it home, and because I was thinking of it for this stitch, but when I got it home I realized it would be just the right width. It is not just the right height though. It would be really close if I took those two little pieces out. So like the bottom of the frame, it would be right there at the berry, and the top would be right there at the feathers. But the sides have a decent bit of space left still. So that might be kind of weird. So I may not necessarily do that. But I had thought about it, and I might try it. I might still try it, because I think I could take these two pieces out, and I think if I take a router, I think I could cut enough out of the top and bottom of this and still have it look okay on the sides. I think I might have to try to do something that like rounded it or something like that. I don't know. I may also just save this and use it for something else for $1. I just figured it's got a couple little nicks I might have to spray paint and kind of redo, but for $1 it was a pretty good find. So, and it's a pretty solid heavy frame, so, and it actually has the hangers on both the top and bottom, and really only like one nick right there. Well, there and there. So anyhow, I think I'm going to make use of that, but I may possibly do something different with this stitch, because my other thought was I've got some it's not actual barn wood, but it kind of looks like barn wood, and so I might use that for framing this. Okay, so that's what I've got, the couple of full finishes that I have and a stitching finish that I have. So a couple other things I've got here in my pile. I actually just bought a few new patterns, so I thought I'd share those. They may be slightly older patterns though, but that's okay, right? They were on clearance to me, so I went ahead and or on sale for me, so I went ahead and got a couple of them. So this first one is, and actually this one might have been something that I won. I can't remember all of a sudden. I feel really bad if I did win it and I didn't keep track. I think maybe it was like a super clearance or something. I don't know. Anyhow, this is called Queen Bee Bakery by Stitching with the Real Housewives, or Stitching with the Housewives. I always want to say Real Housewives, but it's Stitching with the Housewives, Priscilla and Chelsea. And I just thought that was adorable and a good summertime stitch, so I might try to go ahead and kit that up right away. So that was cute. And then this one from Plum Street Samplers, my garden house. I just thought that drum is really, really pretty, and I just love that. And actually, without showing, well, there's no chart or anything on here, so I can show a little bit better picture, I think, on what the actual stitch for the drum is. And so that little house and those flowers are just so cute. And then I just loved this one who is it from? Puntini cross stitch charts, the Sleepless Stitcher. I think that's cute. That's me. Very much me. I could stitch a little more. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could stitch a little more, and then I find myself starting to fall asleep. And then I go back to my stitching the next day, and it's like the strand is like 3 stitches over from where it was supposed to be. Yeah. Anyhow. So those 3 new patterns I'm going to try to kit up fairly soon. And if I don't get started on them, I'll at least have the kit put together. Thought I'd pull out a couple of things that I'm hoping to work on this fall. So amongst those, and that's going to show a chart, so I better not do that. This is a pretty easy one. This one actually, I think it came for free in a Fat Quarter Shop order that I had. So I thought that was kind of cute, and I might do that. I love hands-on design too, so I will, no might about it, I will try to do that this fall. This is actually from Teresa Kogut's Hello Halloween book. This pattern's a little bit older, well, not older, it's 2022, and I just think that's adorable, and I can't wait to do that. Just in case you can't read it, it says, pumpkins fat and witches lean, coal black cats with eyes of green, all the mystery can be seen on the night of Halloween. I just think that's a cute one. I'm probably more into the cute Halloween than anything else. So let me, then I'm more into the cute Halloween than the scary Halloween. And then some fall stitching. So I think I'm going to try to do the cover stitch for this book here. I really like that. Friendship grows up from the seeds planted. The harvest is a kindred spirit. I think that's very cute. There's a couple other ones in here that I would like to do, but I will probably save them for future years. Let me see if I can find... Oh, I'd like to do the Biscornu. I might try that between Halloween and Thanksgiving. Yeah, I think that sounds like a good plan. I think we need Teresa to make a stitch out of this one right here too. Look, she probably has and I just haven't seen it. But I love Teresa Kogut's designs, so I just maybe haven't seen all of them. Alright, so one other stitch that I recently got because it had gone on sale was from Lila's Studio, and you'll forgive my picture here, but my printer ran out of ink, so it is nowhere near as nice as it looks. I mean, this copy is nowhere near as nice as it should look, but Summer Quaker. I think if you know stitching, you've probably seen it on other channels, but I just think that's really, I love that lighthouse. I love the Quaker aspect to it. Yeah, and it says, live in the sunshine, swim in the sea, drink the wild air. And it's got a little mermaid, lighthouse, boat, mermaid, whale, and Quakers. So I think that's adorable. This will be kind of a long-term stitch for me, so I may start with the lighthouse. I may actually tell myself to finish with the lighthouse. But because I'm usually a top left. I usually start as a top left stitcher, and in this case, I probably would go ahead and do like this top row. I'd probably do the frame first and then work my way inside. I don't know. On one like this, maybe it would actually be better to start on the inside and work my way out. Just in case I made any mistakes, I've got room to move out. I don't know, we'll see. So hopefully I will kit that up pretty soon. And then I just recently joined Liz Matthews' Patreon. And so the first month we got this was the one that I got the first month that I had joined, was the pumpkin house. And then for some reason I don't have the second and third ones to show you. I must not have printed them out yet. But her second one actually took kind of a similar style in that she has the house and has the sea underneath, and so it's very cute. I can't wait to do all of them. But yes, I definitely love the pumpkin house, and how she did it. She actually had 2 different fabrics and sewed them together to create this stitch. I've been kind of working on dyeing a fabric and having a portion of it be blue and a portion of it kind of in a... I'm thinking I'm going to try for like a kind of maybe either a brown or a kind of brown with some hints of green to it. I'm not sure, because I think she's got green in the leaves around this vine here, so maybe just the light beige would be a better choice. So I'm still working on that, but I'm hoping to kit that up pretty soon. Alright, so before I go on to my couple of WIPs that I have going, I just wanted to quickly go over. I have actually recently purchased the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine subscription, and when I did that, they had an option for not only getting this subscription for a year, but if you pay just a little bit more, you can get access to back issues. So I went ahead and chose to do that. I was a little concerned whether it was going to be worth it or not, and now I'm wishing I took advantage of the digital subscription so that I could just, you know, it's a little bit cheaper and think, oh, I'll just print out the ones that I like. That's kind of a problem when you like everything. So, I've been trying to be a little bit selective on what I printed out, but let's face it, I have not been able to be really selective when it came to going back through 10 years of magazines. This really isn't that much. In fact, this is really just so these are some ones that I pulled out from this year's magazines, and then the rest of these are actually just fall and Christmas from issues going back all the way to 2015. So, and this is just what I've managed to decide that I like. I would go through some of them, but A, it would take forever, and B, my printer really did a bad job. So, this one's not the worst. It's pretty good actually, but some of them were really, really bad and really, really bad. But they're good enough for me to see the charts. So, and that one's actually pretty good, but some of them pretty nasty. So I won't go through all of them, but maybe show you a couple of the ones that I picked out that I am going to, I'm gonna hole punch these and start my own binder book with those. And I'm thinking for I have a lot of Teresa Kogut, and I belong to her Patreon, so I have purchased a couple of her books, but I belong to her Patreon now, and also the Liz Matthews Patreon, and so I think I'm gonna start up a couple of binders for both of them as well, and that way I kind of keep myself organized and can literally print out the papers and just write done on it when I'm finished, or I can have the paper to put into my kit when I decide to actually get it fully kitted up and all that. I should start to be more tech savvy and just start using the charts from my laptop, but I'm not that tech savvy. So or I should say, I have my charts on my phone, which is too small for me to stitch from, and then I can get them onto my laptop, but I don't always take my laptop places with me, and I sometimes like to take my stitching to work, so I want to have an actual printed working copy, and so in that way, I've gotten a little bit into the tech because I have done the digital subscriptions, and I've got them all downloaded to a thumb drive, and actually I am going to transfer them to my computer as well, so they're to my laptop as well, just in case something happens to that thumb drive, etc., etc. You have access to them, I believe, at any time. I wasn't 100% sure, so I went ahead and downloaded them just to be certain that, like, you know, in 6 months something doesn't happen and I don't find out that I don't have access to all that anymore. But anyhow, so I have that, and I'm going to be kind of working on a plan for organizing that. That seems to be sometimes the hardest part of crafting and keeping up with things is the keeping organized with it if you want to do a lot of things. And so maybe I try to tell myself do one thing at a time. But let's face it, I like to do a lot of things, so there you go. Anyhow, all right, so one of the things I did recently, Pam and Steph from Just Keep Stitching had showed the I forget what the actual Better Homes and Gardens is that who produces it? I'm not even 100% sure. A cross stitch Christmas each year. They do a cross stitch Christmas book, and I think they get theirs through Hirschner's, maybe. I might be thinking of somebody else. But anyhow, I think they get theirs through Hirschner's. And I might be able to get it on Amazon as well for this year. I'm not sure. But this year's book, they were showing this year's book, and it's got a really lot of nice, good patterns that I would love to do. But it's, I think around $40, maybe $42 even. It would be well worth it. It's just maybe not to me right now because of having so many other stitches to do. And so anyhow, that was kind of pricey, but it got me looking at other things, and I'm looking around, and I was on Amazon looking for it, and I found actually some previous years that were like $2 and $3, $4. A little bit more with shipping then, but in fact, I think the most expensive one altogether with shipping was like $8. And so basically I got 3 older books for still quite a bit less than what this year's will be, which I again say is well worth it, and get it if you can. But I just couldn't quite justify it just yet. Maybe it'll be my Christmas present. We'll see. Yeah, maybe it'll be my Christmas present. But anyhow, so I got 3 previous years. So I got, let me see if I can remember what years. I can't. They were, I think one was 2013, and the rest were probably early 2000s. The other two, I mean, 2009. Yep, so this one was 2009, and it's really, really cute. I've got a couple things marked already for some things that I would like to do. I'm probably getting a little bit long on my video already, but I'll show you a couple of them. So this would be one of the ones way up high on my list. I would love to have that stitched up and decorating my house in the winter. And let's see, what else we have? Oh, that one was really cute. I love the snow globes. And I think I liked this one too, even though I put the tab over here. I thought that was very cute as well. Let's see. I think I have a, oh, and that's actually got a pattern. Don't show that. So why does that have, that's weird. I just realized that picture is on 2 different pages. That's interesting. Oh well, anyhow. So, a couple others here. Sorry, I should keep going, shouldn't I? I would love to have that one stitched up as well. And these actually are something that I probably will try to do this year, just because I think they'll be fairly quick and they could be nice little gifts that could be used for decoration, tree decorations. Let's see. So I like the Mirabilia, but I'm probably not going to stitch that one. Oop, and we got a chart. So don't show the charts. Let's see. This one's one I'm going to try this year. It's a perforated paper. I probably should go like this and say the angel is one that I will try this year. I'm pretty sure the other one is a cat, but I don't really, it's funky, but probably not me. I'm having to do that lately, even with ones that I do really, really love. I'm having to say that's probably never going to happen. I like both of those, but honestly, this will probably be the one that I actually managed to get done. So, that's that book. I got a couple in this one as well, which this one was from 2001 maybe. Actually, it might be 1990, now that I think about it. 1998. So there's only a few in here, but I love that stocking with the little mice. And I especially, well, I love that stocking with the little mice. Let me just leave it at that. And I like the little pillow that says joy. I think that's cute. But I probably won't have the time for the pillow, so. And the angel, the stitching on it is really cute, but I don't get it. And I just kind of highlighted these because I would maybe like to try that. I think they'd be cute on a Christmas tree, and maybe a small Christmas tree that I just decorate with cross stitch and baubles. Alright, and the only other thing in this book that I really thought I might do, these little flowers right here. So I was trying to figure out from the chart if these little flowers are going to be small enough to go in a little, it's like a little wooden fob, almost like a little pendant for a necklace. And well, it's a little hoop is what it is. It's a tiny little 1-inch hoop. And so I was trying to find something along that line that would be small enough to stitch up and put in there. Otherwise, I think I'm going to do some initials for a couple of gifts. But anyhow, alright, so there's that one. This book has a lot marked in it. I think it might be one of the more recent ones. Let me take a look here. Maybe not. 2003. So no. I love the little snow angel. So cute. And what did I don't think it's that page. I think it's this page right here. Actually, I liked both of these. This one would probably be the first one I would do, but I like that, and I have a vase about like that I could do some potpourri or baubles like that in it. Alright, and next, I think that's really cute. It's kind of a primitive, make a nice primitive pillow. Let me see. What's the next one here? This one. Thought that was a nice quilt cross stitch. I love that one. Keep Christmas in your heart. I think that's so cute. I could see doing gingerbread men on the frame as well. I actually like all of these. I marked that one, but I liked the little pillows. I like the primitive style of the pillow there. Very cute. And I love this one. Snowy days and starry nights, Christmas in the country. I love the little church. Yep. And I love Christmas. So I marked it for this one, but I'm not sure that I like the light colored fabric. I think I would want to do more of a green fabric and then change the colors for the threads. And it's just Merry Hearts, Star Bright, the Holly and the Ivy, and just the little stitchy lines. But I love this one as well, and I would love to try it. I believe it's a Hardinger. Yeah, and I think it had some information in the instructions on what all you need to do and everything. I've never actually done Hardinger, so I'd love to learn though. All right, and I liked this one, even though it's, well, maybe because it's monotone, I don't know. But anyhow, I just liked it. It's interesting. These ones I marked because they are actually, I believe these are done by the same designer that I did a couple stitches of hers 25 years ago. And I still have those pillows with the angels, that they're like a couple of tattered angels, and I still have those, and I just think these would kind of blend with those and it'd be very cute. I would especially like that. This one's in the Christmas book, but it kind of reads more Valentine's to me. I guess it doesn't have to, but kind of does. And I'm not sure I understand this stocking, but I mean, if you were really patriotic, Santa patriotism, great. But I'm not really. That's a lot of backs. That's a 1990. Yeah, that's a lot of back stitching. Okay, so that's charts, and I shouldn't show that. Okay. All right, so that's my Christmas books. Now to get on to my actual WIPs. All right. Well, first things first. First thing is to show. Well, let me get the bag out of the way here, actually. And then let me show you, and you know what? I'm just going to leave it on the frame. I'm going to leave the chart how I have it on the frame, etc. So I don't have much of a start on this one, but for the 4th of July, I started up the Betsy Ross sampler by Twin Peak Primitives. And you can see I just basically started with the flag, and that's about all the farther I got. I will pick up on that here again this week. I'm going to do a little bit of my summer stitching still here in August, but probably toward the last week in August I'm going to move on to fall. So I will continue stitching on that just a little bit, and that's a fabric that I actually dyed myself. And so I've got a bit of blue up here in the corner, and then red and white, and it kind of created some lines, and but I think it's going to work out fine. Now these particular frames, so I found these on Amazon. I don't remember the name of them, but if I can remember, I'll try to link them. But I found these on Amazon, and I really like how they can stand. Now I have it probably in reverse of what it's intended to be. I think it's actually supposed to be like this, so that you set the base on the table or on your lap, whichever. And actually this one's kind of coming apart just a little bit. And so that you set the base on your lap or on the table. I went ahead and put it on like this, just thinking that if I want to start another small stitch before I've finished this, maybe you're stitching along with somebody on one project and you want to stitch along with somebody else on a different project, you could actually put another one on the back of this. It would be a little bit odd because it sits funny then, but if you sit it in your lap, you can literally just like lean it like this and then just stitch like that on it, and it actually has the clasps for this side as well. So that, which is why I wasn't real sure how exactly they intended for you to use it. It's because it comes with clips on all of the sides. So, you know, I mean, like I said, you can set it on the desk like that. And I've set it like this. I could put another one on the other side. For the time being, these are the clamps that I'm using on this. I actually think I'm going to try to find some smaller ones that are easier for me to use. These were just some that I had, but they are really hard for me to open and close and adjust. But I do like having it there so that I can have my chart right there, and I can kind of maneuver it as I need to maneuver my stitching. So I really kind of like that. And to that end, I actually bought a couple of them. I won't buy any more than that for right now or anytime soon, but I have 2 of them, so that should be enough for now. So also in this bag, along with my threads for my Betsy Ross sampler, and when I need to, I can take the chart off of this and bag it up, and then I just carry the bag in the frame wherever, like if I need to take it to work or something, if I'm going to take it to work to stitch on a little bit. I tend to not take these ones. Well, I actually think I did. I think I did take that one the one day just to start that flag. Not that I got very far on it because my lunch is not very long, so, and there's almost always 10,000 other things to do, right? So what else have I got? What other goodies are in here? All right, so there's a second bag with my threads. So I like to keep my threads and scissors and what else? Couple extra needles, some other things like that. I like to keep them secure in the bag. And some of my bags I made pockets on the inside. Some of them I did not, so I just put them in another little bag and then put that inside there. So along with my Betsy Ross sampler, I also have the Honest Abe sampler. I had to get this one. I'm an Illinois girl, so I thought that was really cool and got that. And this is also a Twin Peak Primitives design, so I got that one. And then another Twin Peak Primitives design, One Nation Under God, Liberty. And I really like that one as well and can't wait to get started on it. But if I'm totally honest, these 3 are going to take me a while. In fact, this Betsy Ross one is going to take me a while. And also in here I have some vintage country mocha fabric for when I start either one of these actually. I was probably thinking One Nation Under God, but the Honest Abe one would look nice in that as well. In fact, I'm trying to remember what they did it on a 28 count Joblin water lily. So, all right, got that. So let me set that out of the way. What else have I got? I might need to take a moment and take a drink. Sorry. Okay, so same style of hoop. So I'll go ahead and, I guess it's not really a hoop, it's a Q-snap. Well, it's not really a Q-snap either because I think that's a brand name. But this is In Praise of Pollinators. I kitted this up in May. I started it end of June, and I've just got a few days stitching on it. So Lolity Stitches started a sew along. I believe she started it in April, and then I kitted it up in May, and I've been kind of trying to follow. Well, I've been watching her videos a lot more than I've been necessarily following along with the stitching portion of it. So if you get an opportunity, go ahead and check out her videos, Lolity Stitches, in particular on the In Praise of Pollinators, Sal. She did a really good job of talking about all the pollinators and what they do for us, and you know, just the scientific part of that. You know, I don't know what I want to say. Sorry. She did a really good job, and much better than I'm doing right now. But anyhow, so this is In Praise of Pollinators by Janine McGowan of the Blue Flower. I've seen several people do it. It's beautiful. I just kitted it up with the DMC, and so far I am already loving the colors. So, and I actually am doing this on, I believe it's 32 count fabric, and it's just one that I dyed myself. So, and I I have no idea how I came up with this color, but it was very cool, and I thought, I hope it's going to work for this, because the model stitch actually had more of a kind of a blue-gray modeling to it, and I thought, well, I think, you know, it's a bit purple-yellow, but hopefully it's, you know what, I'm realizing you might not have it totally in the camera, so let me hold it up here. And I'm realizing that it might be just a little bit too purpley yellow, but I'm hoping that it turns out really nice. So, and it's looking okay to me so far. So, all right, but I mainly just have the very, very center portion done. And so for the first month stitch along, we were supposed to pretty much do the entire center, and I have only got like maybe half of that done, so I gotta catch up. All right, but anyhow, that's that one, and it actually lives in this little bag right here. And showing you this little bag right here actually then reminded me, I just actually did little stitch cards on my Cricut, and so these are just made out of some I had to get so much paper for several different projects, and Hobby Lobby, or no, I think it was Walmart, somebody had it on clearance for a really good price, so I got a bunch of packets not knowing how much I was going to need to use for sure. Well, of course I ended up with an awful lot left, but that was okay because it was on clearance, right? Maybe not. But anyhow, it's okay now because now I can use it for making up tags, so that I can quickly and easily tell from the outside what the project is. Now usually you will put, or I anyhow, will put certain stitches in certain bags, and then that bag right in and of itself, the bag helps you remember what the stitch is that's inside of it. You know, like a Lori Holt bag would be a Lori Holt stitch. A Teresa Kogut fabric would be a Teresa Kogut stitch. But maybe I have a lot of Teresa Kogut stitches, and I don't necessarily want to have to get into every single bag and jostle all my stuff around to determine which one it is. Of course, maybe then you also shouldn't have quite so many kitted up, but that's okay. I can do that. I will get them done someday. And in the meantime, I like looking at the bags. I like having things to do. I like seeing a little bit of progress on that one, and a little bit on this one, and a little bit on that one, and now I'm gonna finish this off and I'm gonna hang it on my wall, or I'm gonna finish this off and I'm gonna gift it to somebody. It's okay. And I think, but it's okay because stuff like this helps me to not feel overwhelmed about it, because I know what's in it and I know what I can get done, or that I can get it done. And so I don't know, I've really gone off on a tangent here that I did not mean to go off on. But anyhow, I just try to keep stitches in bags that they kind of go together with the bag. And so, but even if I can't, it's okay because I have a tag on the outside. Alright, so this one does not actually have a bag or a tag on the outside, and I'm not going to take it out of the frame. And actually, I should probably show you the stitch first. Show you the picture first, I mean. So, this is one that I worked on for about 2 days. And if I work on it for about 2 or 3 weeks, I could have it done. Just because there's an awful lot of text in it. And so it really wouldn't be too difficult. However, I chose to use a fabric that does make it a little bit difficult. And in actuality, the image on this one, the part that you're going to see that I have done, you're not even seeing on this image because it's behind here. So, but this is called Coming to America, the Women of the Mayflower. And so the designer listed out the names of all the women that were on the Mayflower. And at the end, it says, "We are living in the tomorrow for which they wrought." And this in 2020, because that's when it was designed. And so I will probably put 2024, might put 2025, 2026, something like that. But anyhow, this is my sad little start. I've got the flag, I've got the anchor, and I've started working on the sail. But as you can see, I don't have the bird done in there yet. And so this fabric is, honestly, I'm not even sure. It's like a raw, it wasn't an Ada, and it wasn't really monk's cloth. Well, it might be a type of monk's cloth, but it was a very raw kind of material that I actually thought I'm gonna try that, because I just kind of liked the idea that it would be not quite fabulous. I don't know what I want to say exactly. You know, you think about a time when they had the materials that they had to work with were maybe not of the highest quality. Let's put it that way. And so as I'm reflecting that time, I thought this might be kind of a cool, primitive fabric technique type thing. It is kind of difficult, but it's doable, and I think it's going to be fine. And that's why you see only part of the frame, that I only started part of the frame and then went directly into a couple of the motifs, just because I didn't want to find that I was having an okay time doing the frame and then find out that I was struggling too much to do the rest of the image. And so anyhow, it wasn't too bad. It's not fabulous, it's not fast, it's going to be a bit challenging, it's going to be very primitive, but I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be kind of neat in a way. I don't necessarily love the fact that I can't see the sail very well. I'm thinking that maybe I should have changed it to a whiter color than that, because as I'm looking at the image here, I can't actually see this big portion of the sail, but the other sails that I do see, I can see them a lot better on this fabric than I can on this. And it just seems from the picture here that it's more of a white. And so I might actually, I've stitched an awful lot of it to change it. But I had also thought maybe I would finish stitching the big sail in this color and then stitch the others in a little bit whiter. Just because you could also say one sail is older than the others. I don't know, something like that. Anyhow, I also might be seeing on here that the sails are actually a little bit more brown, and what I'm seeing is the flag that the little person here is holding, and that flag has a very white with a red stripe in it. So we'll see as I keep going, but anyhow, so there's that one. And then one that I've actually been working on today, and that I think I could finish up very, very quickly if I just got to it and got it done here in the next couple weeks. Or, you know, if I spent like a few days on it, I could get this done, no problem. She said famous last words, right? But I'm actually working on this one right here, and it has actually this stitch right here. And so this is by Heartstring Samplery, and it's called the Dressmaker's Sewing Kit. And so I'm actually sewing on this one right here. I do want to do all 3 of them, but for right now, I'll get this one finished. And like I said, I'm not very far along on it, because the words actually are the fastest part of this. But it really won't take me too much longer. So I might just concentrate on this weekend and get this one done. And then I actually have a couple of frames that I think might be just the right size for this. And they are also a little bit of a style where you, where I can pad the cross stitch and then just insert it into the frame. It's, I don't know how I want to say it. It's not really like you take the back off the frame and put the picture in or the cross stitch in. It's more like you put the cross stitch into the board. Very much like that. So hopefully it's about the right size. Maybe not. If not, I can create something. It's not a problem. But then I think I will probably move on to, I'll move on to, I'm not sure which one I'll move on to, but I'll probably move on to one of the others before I would move on to the other item that's in this bag, which is also by Heartstring Samplery, and it's the HF 1837 sampler. So I have all the threads for, all the called for threads for this particular one, but I might change up some of the colors just because it doesn't really stand out very well. At least not on this picture. You know, and she says, it says a faithfully reproduced antique sampler. So that's what I'd like. You really can't see any kind of, well, I mean, I can kind of see differences, but it's very much the same. It's not like one looks a lot older and this one you can tell is the newer version. It looks very much the same. And I would like it to be just a little bit more vibrant, I guess is what I'm saying. And I might just be able to do that just by changing up the linen for it, rather than the threads. So to that end, what linen did I pick for that? Yep, I think that's exactly what I was thinking, because I picked a deep brown instead of an orangey, you know, orangey kind of brown that had in it. So there's that one. Sorry for all the noise here. My little heart. So these patterns being by Heartstring Samplery, I put my little heart on it. And as you can see, I didn't get a tag made up for this one yet, but that's because I've been stitching on it, so I didn't really bother with the tag yet. And I've got my little heart on it, so I know it's my Heartstring Samplery projects. Alright, so there's that. And then the other one I've been working on recently that I hope to get back to here in August is actually by Hands On Design. It is Follow the Stars and Find Your Safe Harbor. I thought that was really cute. I know I keep saying that. I think I say that about everything. I think that's really cute. But I do think it's really cute, and it will make a nice stitch for one of my bathrooms. So, just to clarify that statement, both of my bathrooms have lighthouses and sea-themed decor. So, alright. Which way is up? All of a sudden. Okay. I was like, is my needle minder up or down? Alright. So, and that's my start on that one. Just to show you the chart in my start. So, that was like a, I would say it was a day, but what's a day? What's a day to most people in terms of stitching? You know, Did you stitch for 8 hours? That's a day. Did you stitch for a half an hour? That's your lunchtime. So in terms of a day, it was less than a day's worth of stitching. But it was probably actually 2 or 3 days for half an hour to an hour. I'm a very slow stitcher, that's why. Anyhow, and the other project that is in this bag, which I'm have on a scroll frame, or going to have on a scroll frame, and actually I just realized I think I might have just been stabbed. Ugh. What do I got down here? A pin? I think I have a pin. Sorry, I gotta deal with this. Why do I have a pin down here? What is happening? And it's in amongst all my thread. Aha! I see why. That's not good. So I had a needle minder over a needle that came off of the bag and went down to the bottom. So we'll have to figure out something different for that. Okay. Anyhow, the scroll frame will have this this stitch on it. Celebrate Summer by Madame Chantilly. I love the different tier trays that designers are doing, and I just think this one is very, very cute with the lighthouses and the fish and the mermaid. And actually the mermaid's not on there now that I think about it. The mermaid actually is a separate little pillow stitch, so I definitely might do that little pillow stitch. But anyhow, very cute. And that would be another good one for, I don't know. I don't know that they would both go in the same bathroom, because I don't know how much they really go together, but it's cute. Alright, so that one, and then this one just has the little tag pinned to the front because it's got a zipper that doesn't actually have a little hole to put the tag through, so, and that works. Alright, couple more. Last one here is Santa with Anne and Ted by Teresa Kogut. See if I can find him here. So I have several Teresa Kogut patterns in here because, like I said earlier, I belong to her Patreon, and I haven't quite made up a booklet for her stitches yet. And so, but this is Santa with Anne and Ted. I think I showed this one last week when I was working on my it was another Teresa Kogut quilt kit, which I suddenly can't remember the name of. Uh-oh, it's not up on the housetop. That's this year's. I don't remember all of a sudden, but it's a really cute one. Alright, so Santa with Anne and Ted, and I haven't gotten any further than I was last week when I showed you, and forgive the thread on this. Oh, and I've got a needle kind of stuck in. I did a bad thing. Okay. But I just have his coat outlined, and I will continue working on that around Thanksgiving probably. I've got a lot of Halloween and fall stitches and quilts planned to do, so. Alright, and last one is from Teresa Kogut's Hello Spring booklet. So I have several marked in here, and I have them kitted up and ready to stitch, but this is the only one that I've really started so far. So I started this, when did I start this? Oh, I started this before I started putting the little notes on my bags to say when I started this. But anyhow, there's my threads for this one. I feel like there might be more threads that I need, but I haven't quite got yet. I don't know. Why do I feel that way? Anyhow. So, and it lives on this scroll frame, and I haven't taken it off, and I'm probably not going to take it off. But this is how far I've gotten so far. Which is basically, it's more than the first page. So there's that. And I think it's 6 pages altogether. 4 pages plus two small pages. So, but in the image, you'll see I've got down to the bird, and I made it across to the very edge of the goblet or vase, whichever you want to call it. It kind of reminds me of a goblet. That's why I keep saying, in fact, I think it's a goblet. I don't, anyhow. But yeah, that's how far I've gotten on that, and I stopped in May and started a whole bunch of other things. So I will pick that up again probably in February. And maybe I'll have it done next spring. Because that really wasn't a lot of time that I put into that. So, and I just kind of have it lean in here and have my threads on it. I didn't make a bag for that one because that's a very big scroll frame, but I do have some very large bags that I have other things kitted up in, so I should probably get like a pillowcase or something and put over it so that it doesn't, I don't think it's not getting dusty because it leans the way it does and I move it every so often, etc. So, alright, well, that's my whips. Yay! So I didn't even know. I didn't keep count. What do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 with this one. But hopefully I'll have this done this weekend and get my moonbeams and heartfelt quilt finished up, and a whole bunch of other things. Yeah. So, alright, what else to say? I feel like I'm gonna probably wrap it up there. Yeah, so I've got some, I do actually have a couple other stitches going, but I can't show them because they're for somebody. So, alright, well, thanks for watching, and I hope you've got lots of stitching going on and getting lots done, and hope you have a good weekend, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.